Howdy, my name is Estrana, and welcome back to the Cosmic Chaos. Or if you're new here, welcome. This is going to be a draw with me video, because, well, I wanted it to be a draw with me video. You're getting not one, but three little speed paints in one. I had this idea where I wanted to do some screen cap redraws of certain Kingdom Hearts scenes, but decided to, switch up the Disney villains with Disney villains. Whoops. I decided to take advantage of Clip Studio Paint's time-lapse feature for these, so that's why it's a little different this time. But with that being said, grab your sketchbooks or tablets, and would y'all like to draw with me for a little bit? Sorry for not posting in a while. Things have been a little hectic for me ever since school started back up. That and the fact that I was trying to, get certain projects done. Like, one of them I can't really reveal just yet. But this little screen cap redraw thing, it was a process, especially with backgrounds. I normally don't do backgrounds, but because, I'm trying to be a comic artist, I gotta get used to that. So, yeah. Anyways, for this first screen cap redraw, I decided to do the scene where Maleficent's like, they're all falling into her hands one by one or something like that, but because I like Malleus from Twisted Wonderland, I decided to draw him. I mean, it's fitting because he is twisted from Maleficent. His staff was a pain to draw and do the line art for, but I did it somehow. And for the rendering, because the original screenshot is so dark, I decided to just lighten it up a little bit so that you can see both the background and the character himself. Normally I blur the background, but I feel like that would have made me lose a lot of detail when I darkened the piece later on, so I kept it as is, and honestly, I think that really benefited this piece because, God, I love the amount of detail and, like, the texture I used for the brush, like the blending brush I use in Clip Studio Paint. I don't know, I'm just super proud of the background on this piece in particular. There are other elements that I liked while making this piece. The leather bits I really, really enjoyed doing, especially since I have a friend who made like this art tutorial thing that you see, where it's like a step-by-step thing. Like those tutorials you see on like Pinterest or something. And I really liked how they did it, so I tried incorporating that into any leather bits, and I think that really helps things stand out, I believe. Hair is a given. I love drawing hair, and you may notice I have given Malleus longer hair than what he has in the canon. I don't know, that's just how I draw hair in general. Like, I will always make it longer and poofier than the actual canon, because if I don't draw poofy and long hair, even if it's like a shorter cut, I will simply implode. That's basically all I have for this first time-lapse. I added the text using a marker text thing. I don't know. I don't know. But overall, for a starting piece, this was really fun, and I think it really set like a somewhat high bar for me, but it is what it is. So, yeah. For the next piece, which we are about to get to right about now, I just wanted to draw Terra. I have no excuse. I love this man so much. He is the one character who got me into Kingdom Hearts, like, in general. That's a story for another day. I don't want to get too deep into that because it does involve some personal shit. Yay! So I decided that for this little screen cap redraw mini-series that I would do one screen cap where I would draw a Twisted Wonderland character, and the second one would be just a Kingdom Hearts character, and then the final one would be to combine the two, like have the characters interact. You'll see that towards the end. For now, we're focusing on Terra. I chose this scene from Birth by Sleep when he first arrives and meets Maleficent in Enchanted Dominion. Blech. I really need to start scripting these, don't I? Unless you like hearing me ramble, like, on the spot, then in which case, good for y'all. Anywho, the background, I prefer doing organic backgrounds compared to inorganic backgrounds. I don't know, it's just fun to be a little messy because nature, it's not completely uniform, but like, I don't know, it's just so fun to render outdoor scenes compared to uh like stuff I did for the first background, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I just prefer like drawing like nature backgrounds, like something similar to like Bob Ross or something. But I do think for me, especially because I want to make comics, well, I'm in the process of making a Kingdom Hearts fan comic, drawing inorganic backgrounds is absolutely inevitable. So, you know what? I think doing these Screencap Redraws is good practice for me in that regard. Like, yeah, sure, like, I'll do some things that'll make the characters stand out more in a background, but I think if I keep, like, background elements as is from time to time, I think that makes them stand out even more. Oh yeah, I finished the background on this one, and I started sketching my favorite character. And you know, I'm just gonna ramble about why Terra is a really good character for a second. Like, besides my very obvious bias towards him, and the fact that he was the first character who made me really interested in this series, just, God, this man, he has been through so much in Birth by Sleep, which I do want to talk about in a future video. I just need to get through, like, this whole writer's block thing that I have for a script I'm currently working on for Kingdom Hearts 1. Anyways, back to Terra. I just have a thing for Earth-themed characters. And he's just really loyal to a fault, and I know a lot of people give him a lot of hate for him falling to manipulation, but, like, I feel like a lot of people fail to understand is that, like, in a lot of cases of manipulation, we're just outsiders looking in, and we can provide, like, in the real world, we can provide, like, some help towards those who are genuinely being manipulated, but, like, when it comes to a video game, it's already coded, like, the script is already coded into the story, if that makes sense, and, like, we can see all the red flags, but something about manipulation is that, from what I've heard, is that it can be subtle. It can destroy relationships, and that's what nearly happened in Birth by Sleep. Like, there was a lot of mistrust in that game because of Xehanort, and honestly, I could go on and on about that, but that's gonna require a lot of research and a lot of planning for the script. Like, I do want to talk about Birth by Sleep one day, because, like, God, it is such a good game. I love it. The gameplay is broken as hell, but, like, I feel like any game that doesn't have at least one broken element, it's not as fun. Like, I just enjoy bashing together two commands and seeing what I get. I do have the guidebook, surprisingly. It's on my bookshelf with all my other Kingdom Hearts books and whatnot. And that one was a lucky find. I do like going back and flipping through it now and then, like, in case I need a specific recipe for a command. I have tried 100%ing Birth by Sleep, but then I realized I'd have to fight Mysterious Figure, and we all know that Mysterious Figure in Birth by Sleep is such a poorly coded fight. It is genuinely the worst, like, secret fight in all of Kingdom Hearts, in my personal opinion, and I'm sure a lot of people can agree, maybe. I don't know. I don't like fighting Mysterious Figure. That's such a fucking awful fight. Anywho, Terra, loyal to a fault. He's the literal embodiment of man literally too angry to die, especially towards the end of his route. And if you know, then you know. But just, God, the scene where he's kind of the main focus in Kingdom Hearts 3, God, that scene has a very special place in my heart. And again, if you know, you know, I am trying to be vague as possible. But, yeah, here's the finished drawing. Just, I love that out of context, like, he's just saying they are base, that's for sure, when Maleficent is like, now why would I worry about creatures that are so base? And he just flat out agrees with her, which, like, I guess considering the unverse that he encounters when he first like goes to Enchanted Domain, that does make sense. They are kind of like, beginner baby unversed, and then you see more unversed later on, and it's just like, yeah. But anyways, I'm proud of this. I mean, but then again, I'm biased. I love this Earth Himbo so much. And lastly, we have this gem. And oh boy, the background took me the longest because of how much like inorganic things that are in the scene. Like, I decided to do this scene where Maleficent isn't interacting with Riku. I did have to combine the references because, like, the one moment where she's like, "You're better off without that wretched boy." Now, it kind of contrasts with, "Now don't worry about him and come with me," or something like that. Like, because 1 second, like, you can't really see Riku too much, but in the other where Maleficent's like leaning down and just be like, just come with me or something like that. I just wanted to be able to have Riku be seen, if that makes sense. I wasn't exactly too sure about how to approach the background, but like, this is just one of those things where you kind of just have to throw spaghetti at a wall and see if it sticks to see if it's done or something. I did end up using Gaussian blur on literally all elements of the background, which kind of defeats the purpose of having that textured like shading that I loved so much. But sacrifices had to be made, especially considering that this scene was again another dark one because Traverse Town apparently has a never-ending night. Like, seriously, has that world ever seen daylight? I don't know. I did enjoy, like, doing some of the lineless elements, which I think really made it more enjoyable, and, like, try to figure out, like, oh, how do I make this somewhat 3D, if that makes sense. But yeah, background took a while, but I'm proud of how it turned out. And this was the fun part where drawing all the characters, well, I say all the characters, but there's like 2. I think it was really fun to like draw, like, especially Riku's expression. Like, the expressions were fun because, like, in the original screenshot, which I'll probably put somewhere on the screen, he's just staring into the camera like it's The Office. It's like, on one hand, it's funny, but on the other hand, it's like, I don't think that would translate well into what's essentially just a redraw of a scene. Yeah, I had to draw Malleus's staff again, but I didn't have to do the funky top bit, so that was a relief. And I just made Riku so emo in this. Oh my god, I'm looking at this now and just like, wow, it do be emo hours. But let's also not forget that Riku was also manipulated by Maleficent. So, like, which, honestly, why would you give Riku a pass for being a victim of manipulation, but also give Terra shit for also being a victim of manipulation? It's like, make it make sense. But anywho, there's not really too much to say, because again, it's rendering. I think it was really fun, like replacing, well, at this point, I just drew Malleus, because he's my favorite character, and Maleficent is one of my favorite Disney villains. Dr. Facilier is one of my all-time favorites. Excuse me. But anywho, I think if I were to revisit this, like, Kingdom Hearts Twist Screencap Redraw thing, I think I definitely want to incorporate the other characters, like, especially of the Overblot 7, as I'm going to call them, which consist of, and spoiler alert, Riddle Roseheart, Leona Kingscholar, Azul Ashen Grotto, Jamil Fibler, Feel Schoenheit, Edea Shroud, and of course Malleus, which, by the way, I am not looking forward to doing reading his chapter, because god, that's gonna hurt like hell. But anyways, considering that the Queen of Hearts doesn't have too many scenes, like, I know she's like relegated to like 1, chain of memories and Recoded, I believe. I don't know if she's in like Union Cross or something. It's been a long time since I've seen anything related to that, but anyways. But yeah, if I were to do this series again, like as like a part 2, I'll try to incorporate other characters from the Overblot 7 group. And yeah, that's basically it. Here's the final product. So someone said that this piece gave them the vibes of yeah, we have to kill this guy Steven, and Steven's like, damn. And so because I thought it would be funny, I decided to kind of play into that trend a little bit and have Malleus tell Riku, we're going to have to kill this guy, Riku. I guess I shouldn't say kill, I should say unalive. Whoops. Sorry, YouTube. But anywho, that's pretty much all there is for me today. I hope you guys really like this draw with me. I will try to post more, but considering I now have a second job, things might get a little hectic, you know, trying to balance school and life and whatnot, but that's for another day. I hope you guys have a wonderful day / evening or whatever time it is, and I will see y'all in the void next time. Later, taters! I still need to find a decent outro. God fucking...